Yo, what's going on, Kicks Army? Today I'll be drawing the Air Jordan 1 Rookie of the Year that's set to release this fall. I'll also be talking about Durant's comments on LeBron's legacy, Cappella re-signing with the Rockets, and Kobe working out with Jayson Tatum. Let's get it! As always, this stencil along with others are available on my site KicksArt.com. I'll have a link in the description as well as a card that's going to pop up on the side of the video right about now. Go on the site, check it out, there's a ton of sneaker stencils on there, and you can request a stencil that you want to see added by reaching out to me on the contact tab. And I noticed that I haven't done a how to draw on the Air Jordan 1 yet, so I'm thinking for tomorrow's video I should go ahead and do that, so let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. Now, recently, Kevin Durant was asked on LeBron's decision to move from Cleveland to Los Angeles to play for the Lakers. Listen what he has to say.
Loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a perfect decision, perfect move. Did everything he's supposed to do in Cleveland. I think this is a perfect next step for him. And he's kind of breaking down the barriers of what an NBA superstar is supposed to be. You know, you feel like you're supposed to just, play it out in one spot. I think he did a good job of giving you different chapters, and it's going to make his book even more interesting when it's done.
Now, I kind of want to unpack all of this and tell you guys why I think what he said was so interesting. Because when I initially heard this, I thought to myself, oh man, he's already paving his way out of Golden State. Think about it, when he was asked about LeBron's decision to leave, he said he loved it and that LeBron's breaking down the barriers of what an NBA player is supposed to be. That's extremely important because it's not like this is the first time LeBron has left the team and went somewhere else. He was drafted by Cleveland after 7 years and decided to shock the world and go to Miami. That decision alone is what led us into the super team era. The era of migration where stars can now choose their own destiny was pioneered by LeBron and has changed the game in a huge way, at least for the foreseeable future. The old paradigm in the league was that teams were allowed to try to stack the deck for the sake of their future. We saw it happen in the 80s with the Showtime Lakers, the 90s with the Bulls, the early 2000s with the Lakers again, and the late 2000s with the Boston Celtics. These teams were great due to a collection of superb star talent that were built not only through the draft, but through trades as well. And while it might have sucked to have been a fan of all the other teams that had to go up against those teams, we as fans kind of accepted it because this is how the NBA was. The franchises were the ones building the rosters, and you as a star free agent were discouraged from leaving your team to join another from the scrutiny of fans questioning your competitiveness and will to battle against your contemporaries. LeBron had to deal with all of that when he made the move to Miami, not just because he left Cleveland, which was his hometown team, but he also had to deal with the scrutiny of joining a Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who were both at the time Olympic gold medalists, which meant for the first time we saw 3 Olympian basketball players join together off their own accord to try to determine their own destiny. And to be honest, to this day, I still absolutely hate seeing LeBron in that Miami jersey because for those 4 years, I absolutely hated him. What he did seemed so unfair, but little did I know that this mentality of mine would change over the years. He left Miami and went back to Cleveland to join Kyrie and Kevin Love to form a new super team, and by then I was perfectly fine with it because he was going back home to try to deliver the promise that he once made to the city, winning them a championship. And now he's chosen to leave and join the Lakers with the hopes of adding more rings to his fingers, and social media has grown tremendously since 2010 when he made that decision to first join Miami, and the hate for LeBron leaving Cleveland this time around is microscopic compared to the hate that he received back then. Kevin Durant knows all of this. He knows that LeBron leaving Cleveland that first time gave him the experience, success, and mental growth he needed to come back to Cleveland to win them that championship. And I believe that maybe, just maybe, he's looking at that as the blueprint for how he wants to handle his career. KD to Golden State is what LeBron was to Miami, the superstar level player that would join a team to lead them to championships. Now, sure, the circumstances are different, but the principle is the same. Maybe KD is haunted by the demons and not being able to win one in OKC and bringing those fans something they never had. He knows that for as long as he stays in Golden State, that narrative will stay with him, and that if LeBron was able to resurrect his legacy by bringing the chip back, maybe he can do the same. I may be speculating heavily, but let me know in the comments what you guys think of that. Next in the news, we have Clint Cappella signing a 5-year, $90 million extension with the Houston Rockets. For those of you who don't know too much about Clint Cappella, let me break down some of the basics. He's a 6'10" center that averaged about 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game last year. Now, initially, you might be thinking, oh wow, that's not super impressive. To which you'd be right, but the guy is only 24 years old, and he plays in a Houston system that's being anchored by the superstar level backcourt of Chris Paul and James Harden. But Clint Cappella isn't just some tall dude from Switzerland. This guy was second last season in blocks and first in field goal percentage, making 65% of his field goals. For those of you who don't know, a field goal is any shot that's not from the free throw line, and that includes dunks and three-pointers. And you would have a hard time finding a clip of Cappella taking a three-point shot because he's never taken a three-point shot because he's self-aware enough to know his strengths and his weaknesses. Carmelo. But he has dunked the ball an awful lot, which is why he is #1 in field goal efficiency. And you might be thinking, yeah, well, that's because he's catching lobs and getting open looks from Chris Paul and James Harden. Which, again, you'd be right. But if your role is to catch lobs and to dunk if you're open, then you better be efficient, and he is. And on the defensive side of the ball, he's also getting in a good number of blocks, so in terms of a center that works in the system of the Houston Rockets, he's absolutely the guy. So yeah, good signing by Houston because he's a strong asset to the team and can help on the defensive side of the ball, which is half of basketball, by the way. Defense is important, this man gets blocks, enough said. And lastly, we have some pictures Jayson Tatum posted on him and Kobe working out together. In the caption, he put, in quotes, "How much does it mean to you?" which is probably one of the many things Kobe said to him that stuck with him. And the reason I bring this up is because Jayson Tatum was one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year. And by the way, don't worry, Donovan Mitchell, there's always next year. But I love to see when NBA vets work with younger stars to help them develop their game. Kobe's playing career may be over unless he decides to go to the Big Three, which that'd be kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. But his post-career has just started and he's been very active over the past few years in ways we never saw Jordan be. He communicates with stars all the time, providing advice and sharing the skills of the trade he's learned over the years, and as a fan of the NBA, it's really a beautiful thing to see. Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll notice that this style of video is different from all the others. I actually have an introduction and I'm more focused on basketball than ever, and also I've really been going hard on the website trying to make it as useful for you guys as I can. And in case you guys didn't notice, I went and redid my style of thumbnails. Also, let me know what you guys think on that. That took a while to figure out, but I think it looks really good, so let me know on that. I love the NBA. Shocker, right? But I do, and I always wanted KicksArt to be the intersection where sneakers, art, and basketball all meet. This video isn't perfect by any means, but I feel like it's a step in the direction that I've always wanted to take with the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and listening to me preach a sermon on the NBA. But that's gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and just pass that bell to get notifications for when I upload a new video. Visit kicksart.com for all your sneaker stencil needs, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace!